we'll know a little bit more tomorrow, hopefully.
And with respect to the October 15th incident that we've all reported about now or read about on AB, I guess I need to ask, when did you know and what did you know and when did you know about it? Were you aware of this before you signed him? It was just 2 weeks.
Yeah, we were, like the statement said, we were totally aware. And he's been a model citizen. I think we're trying to beat a dead horse here now. So there's been enough statements about it.
Thanks.
All right, next we're going to go to Jenna Lame.
Hey, Coach, along those same lines, you had told us that you felt that Antonio had matured. You knew about that incident. What gave you the confidence to believe that he has matured when, again, that was 8 days before he signed with you guys?
I think we've had enough conversations about that. Thank you.
All right, next question will go to Greg Allman.
Bruce, Tom Brady was talking on one of the podcasts and mentioned how much of a motivation he has in these next 6 games. For the guys in this locker room, there are a lot of them that have never played in a playoff game. Obviously, you've been to the playoffs as an assistant, as a head coach. How motivating do you see that as, is making sure that guys like Levante David and Mike Evans, who have played here in Tampa for 7, 8, 9 years, get a taste of that now?
No, I think it's huge. It's really huge. And to have a couple guys, 3 or 4 guys that have been there and went to the Super Bowl, it's one thing to have players do it and coaches. It's just different, you know. And you can see the intensity in practice each week is picking up. And like I told them, we're in the playoffs now, so the intensity should pick up. So it's fantastic to have a leader that can do that with players.
Bruce, as I don't know how much scoreboard watching you're doing, but I mean, there's one game separating the top seed in the NFC and the last team in the playoffs right now. I just want to ask you how much of an urgency that creates. You say this is a playoff game now, but literally the difference between having a bye and being on the road in the playoffs is one game for a lot of teams right now.
Yeah, we started last week putting up the scenarios because I think you have to be aware of it. You don't hide from it. You kind of embrace it, know where you stand, what's ahead of you this week. Not looking forward other than past this week and where everybody stands in a lot of big games this week.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right, we're going to go to Joey Knight. After Joey, we'll have some Los Angeles media.
Coach, the penalties have gone down significantly the last 5 or so games. Any explanation for that at all?
Our penalties?
Yes.
From none to, I think we had 3 this week. So, I wouldn't consider that a big jump. I mean, it's not like we've had a major jump back to where we were before. So I'm okay with that.
You had a significant number the first 5 games, but the number of penalties has gone down significantly the last 5 games.
Yeah, totally since the Chicago game. And I mean, there was a concerted effort by the players. They were tired of hearing me say it, but we've done a really good job of correcting it.
All right, now we're going to go to Los Angeles media. We'll open with Kevin Modesti.
Hi, Bruce. Kevin Modesti from the LA Daily News. The Rams have been pretty up and down the last 4 weeks. What have you seen from them? How do you get a line on kind of who they really are right now?
Well, I don't see much down when I watch them. I see a lot of up. And, you know, Jared's playing very, very well, protecting the football. They're running the ball well. Their play-action game is outstanding. Defensively, I mean, that might be the best second-half defense in the league right now. So kick game, Hecker's one of the best, so I don't see any weaknesses in their game. So, yeah, to me, it's all up. That was a big game for them last week.
What does it say when a team does what the defense has been doing in the second half? Yeah,
I mean, great adjustment, great coaching at halftime. Really making good adjustments, but the players have to make the adjustments. The coaches can say all they want, but the players make the adjustments, and they're doing a really fine job of that.
Thank you.
All right, next is going to be Gary Klein from the LA Times.
Hey, Bruce. Just wanted to get your thoughts on Goff in terms of his development. You know, since he's come into the league, you've kind of seen him all the way through. So just wanted to get your sense of what he's doing better now than he did when you first saw him and whatnot.
Yeah, I think since he's been with Sean, he's just grown and grown. And it looks like they have great chemistry together as a coach, play caller. and a quarterback. And I just see continued growth, protecting the football, accuracy, on the move, down the field. I just see really steady growth and turning into a heck of a player.
And the addition of Jalen Ramsey late last season, when you're game planning against a team with a corner like that, what kind of problems does he present for you?
Well, if you're throwing it towards him, you better make sure you see what's going on, because he's a tremendously talented guy, and he can do some things for your defense that other people couldn't. We're very fortunate when I was in Arizona, I had Patrick Peterson, and here Carlton Davis. So I think he's at the top of the list right now of top corners in the league, and you have to be very, very alert of where he is, even when he's playing inside.
All right, we're going to go over to Jordan Rodriguez.
Hey, Bruce. Jordan Rodriguez with The Athletic, Los Angeles. How you doing today?
Good.
Pete Carroll actually mentioned that he saw a lot of similarities with how Brandon Staley is playing Jalen this year as Pat Peterson was in Arizona. Do you see those similarities? And also, if you could expand a little bit on what you see when Jalen does move inside.
Yeah, I mean, he's normally following the number one guy, and if that guy's inside, he's inside. That's not always man-to-man, but when he's outside, even if it's a zone concept, he's pretty much playing man-to-man. And but when he's inside, there is some man, but more zones. But he's so talented, he can play either one, and does it very, very well.
And then, if you don't mind, I've been asking defensive coaches this too, I've been asking opposing coaches this too. If you had to describe Aaron Donald to somebody who had never watched a game of football before, how would you describe him? Tasmanian
Devil. I mean, for us old folks, we know what that cartoon looks like, and I mean, he's nonstop, great get off. He's got a toolbox of moves that's second to none. Just a hell of a football player.
All right, we're going to go over to Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Coach. Can you just talk about the challenges? I know the Rams aren't the only ones that do it, but the challenges of when you have a run game that's so evenly split the way that they've been doing it.
Yeah, they do a great job with a lot of motion, but they've got three backs really that are just fresh all the time, and they're different, but they're also very similar. The style of what they do with each one's pretty much the same, and they've added some more power game, some more gap scheme stuff this year. That makes them a little bit harder to defend.
All right, we'll go to Steve Isbitz.
Coach, earlier this week, you talked about Sean Murphy-Bunting having a really, really strong game against Carolina. Can you talk about what you specifically saw, and you think that's enough to have him back as a starter in his original role this season?
I think he's working it towards that. A lot of confidence. Just see a lot more confidence in him. He got his swagger back. I don't know why he lost it there for a couple of games, but he got his swagger back, and I wouldn't have any problem with him starting for sure. And but Jamel's playing pretty solid too, so we're very fortunate to have three guys.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll go over to Kevin O'Donnell.
Hey, Bruce. All teams are going into the intensive protocol this weekend on Saturday. You're one of four teams that haven't had to go through that yet this season. What extra moves have you guys made to kind of avoid that? And how do you feel that these new rules are going to impact just your preparation for a game?
We actually started today, and we're very, very fortunate to have the facility and the weather that we can meet outside. And so we have built classrooms outside, and hopefully the rain will hold off, but with our indoor facility, and it's been pretty much easy for us as far as the meetings and stuff. We would not have to do anything virtually. We can always be in our building at our facility, either indoors or outdoors.
So you don't think this will have a great impact just on preparation throughout the rest of the season?
For us, no. I think it does. If you're virtual, it makes a huge difference. But for us, wearing masks during practice is we put those Oakley shields on our helmets, and if you have to wear masks more, stay separated a little bit more, and just be a little more cognizant of who's surrounding you and what you're doing.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right, we're going to close out with a question from Rick Stroud and one from Greg.
Hey, Bruce, along those lines, and no one's going to feel sorry for players or coaches